This is the second Sunday of Advent. That's an interesting story. It shows two things. First, all those names, the list of persons, one person ruling there, somebody else ruling there, the king in Rome. It means what? With the exact time, we know the exact time when Jesus, the Son of God, came into our world. Not God touched our world sometime in a vague time in the past. We don't know when. It's all very vague. No, we know exactly when. We know when Jesus, the Son of God, came precisely in the world. In a world that was nice and beautiful and peaceful? No, it was hard. It was a tough place. The Roman soldiers had overcome so many people in Israel. People in Israel had to pay taxes to the Romans. Soldiers were watching people constantly, protecting them. They were fighting. They were killing. It wasn't an easy time. But God, the Son, wanted to be with us. Why? God, the Son, wanted to show His love, His proof that He loved us so much. Sometimes you and my people think, God knows me, God loves me. Yes. Why? Look at Jesus who has come to be with us. Wow. Especially you. Especially for God's special love for Jesus, Son of God. When God's Son came, it was fine, but He needed somebody to prepare the people. So He called a man. His name was John the Baptist. His job was to prepare all the people, prepare for God's coming. How? He was to preach to the people, to change their lives, to live, to improve in their activity, be better people. John, who was John? He lived in a fancy house, fancy clothes, fancy place to live? No. John was poor. He lived in the desert. He ate food, pugs. Clothes were rough. Because he, John, had no money, didn't have a fancy house, didn't have a car, didn't have a fancy computer. He was free. Didn't have to depend on other people, didn't have to depend on losing his money or losing anything. Losing his house, losing his clothes. He didn't care. He was free. Then God touched John, said, "You are free. You don't have to worry about money, you don't have to worry about paying bills. You are free." So God came and touched John more deeply. Where? In a fancy place, in a fancy town? No. In the desert. The place was hard, empty, barren. Food was tough to find. It wasn't a very nice place. God came and touched John to tell him, your work to ready God for God's Son's coming. So all the people, you are the voice crying, telling all the people to get ready. The Son of God is coming. Now notice, John was free because he didn't have to worry about money, a house. We need a little bit of the same attitude, some freedom. We worry about money. Sometimes money is tough. It's hard to pay bills. We worry about it. That's true. But we need in our own hearts to find freedom. We have to pay attention to God. In the desert, and not a fancy television, not a fancy iPad, smartphone. You and I need to find a similar kind of thing. Find a little bit of peace in your lives. Now is the time, Advent. Now it's necessary to find a quiet time, peaceful, empty time, not focusing on doing on television or computers or smartphones. A few minutes every day. Set that aside. Sit down quietly. Look up. God, Lord, I am here. I want the same thing John the Baptist had. I'm waiting for you. You're coming to me. I know you are close to me already, but please, I want to feel you close. I know deep inside me you are with me, close. Let me know. And God will let you know. God will let you know. Because you have to find the time. Find the quiet time. Maybe in the morning, afternoon, night. Find peaceful time, the empty time, when you're not busy, when you're not doing so many things. Sit down. Pay attention to God. God, I am here. I want to hear you. I want to pay attention to you. And then talking more. I'm asking you, please, all these things, help with all this? No, just wait. Stop. Tell the Lord, I am here. I'm waiting for you to come. I'm waiting quietly before you, before the Lord. The Lord, He will come and touch you. He will. He will. But you and I, we need our hearts to be open, getting ready, waiting in quiet. Then we find the freedom, set everything aside, the smartphone, things, all that's computer, all of that, YouTube, set it all aside. Find freedom in your lives. Then the Lord will touch you deeply. Let me tell you a story. A king, a long time ago, he was rich. He was a king, he was powerful. He had a beautiful house. It was sea. In his heart, he was worried about money. He wasn't really satisfied. He was missing something. He didn't have a relationship with God, with Christ. He didn't. He wanted to know what to do, and he was thinking about that. What do I do? He asked people for advice. I'm rich and powerful. I'm doing a lot of things, but I'm not satisfied, not yet. What more do I need to know? And he got advice, but nothing happened. Nothing was helpful. And one day at night, he heard some noise upstairs on the roof. It was an old man from the town. He was a poor man, but a nice old man, holy man. So I'm walking around on the roof. I heard, King, what are you doing up there on the roof? The man said, I'm looking to find my goat. I lost my goat. I'm looking to find my goat. Goat on my roof. I have to go out to the farm. Man said, Your Majesty, you want to find God in a fancy house, in your fancy rich castle? You can't. You need to simplify your life. Become more empty. Become more peaceful in yourself. Give God the time. Don't be silly. Set it all aside. Then you can find God in your life. Same thing with us. We want to find God with us. Then give time. Peaceful time, quiet time, pay attention. The Lord will touch you. He will.